Okay, you're welcome. And this is Darko Labs, and this is an AI bootcamp specifically made for anyone who is interested in AI, machine learning, data science, data analysis, AI engineering, and all that. So this is a platform where we learn. If you have any issue, kindly subscribe or go to my Discord channel. We have Discord link in the bio, and we also have a Discord link on my YouTube. All you need is go to the Discord link. Any issue you had related to any topic we are handling, just put the issue there and someone will respond to you. So today we are looking into continuing our data structures. And basically with data structures, all that we need to understand is how we can structure our data in terms of when we are doing something we call data analysis. So when you are doing performing data analysis, you need to understand how you can query and how you can set or arrange your data set. And in terms of you trying to do some kind of EDAs or analysis. So here we are looking at the basic principles behind data structures. And earlier on we looked at lists, and today we are looking at tuples and sets and also dictionary. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll first tackle the tuples. And as usual, you only need to create. So let me just delete this for you guys. So we start from the scratch. Okay. So now I have my virtual environment. All you need to do is have your virtual environment, okay, which you can set it up. You can run your virtual environment here, okay. So make sure that your virtual environment is activated, or once you have the virtual environment in your project folder, you are good to go, as we have been doing always. And you can just say conda activate, activate. Then what is the name of our virtual environment? VANV, okay, which is this one. So I just come here, press on enter like this, and then I activate it. So now we have our virtual environment running, and then in our node, we create a notebook. For you to create a notebook, you just come to the left side of the VS Code. Already we have a virtual environment, so we click on this empty space here, and then we type the file we want to create. So let's say we are looking at tuples. So tuples.ipynb. Okay. So the extension is very important. IPYNB. Okay. Don't make it PY. It's IPYNB. So this is the extension for notebooks, because we want to use notebooks in our project folder. Okay. We don't want to be using Jupyter notebooks and all that. That is why we are using notebooks here. All right. All right. So I'll just press on this. So now you could see that we have opened what? Our notebook. And within this notebook, we can code and we can create markdowns, which I have taught you how to create markdowns in our previous sessions. So all that you need here is make sure you select the kernel. The kernel is very important. So for you to get a kernel, you just have to click on this, and then you choose the one which you created, which is this virtual environment, which we have activated here. Okay. We activated it here because sometimes if we need to run something on the terminal or the command line, then we would be able to use this particular environment here. And we also need to select it in our notebook here. So anything or any code we run within this particular notebook, it runs through the environment we created, so that we will not have any issue of dependencies errors. Okay, guys. So that is why we selected a kernel on or with our virtual environment, this one. If you have several virtual environments, you can select them. But currently, what we have created, we have you can see I have so many virtual environments. But currently, what I'm using is the recommended one, which is this one. Okay. All right. Now, all that I need to do is, I said today we are looking at tuples, and I'll first create a markdown for you guys to understand what we'll be looking at. Okay. So we are going to look into tuples, and tuples, we will look at how we can create tuples. Okay. So we will look at how we can create tuples, right? We will look at let me close this one for you. Okay. So we will look at how we can create tuples. We will look at how we can accessing tuple elements, okay, and then we will look at how we can operate with tuples, so tuples operation, okay, and then we will look at how we can immutable nature. We look at the immutable nature of tuples, okay, and then we will look at, so we don't need the terminal. Let me close the terminal so we can have all the space by ourselves. So we will look at creating tuples, assessing tuple elements, tuples operations, immutable nature of tuples, and what else? What else? We'll look at tuple methods, tupled methods. Okay, we'll look at tuple methods, and then you can see I'm writing all of these in Markdown and not code. Right? So there's a difference between Markdowns and code. Markdown helps you to align your notebook, structure it properly, so that any stakeholder or any person who gets your notebook understands it right from the beginning. Okay? So I'm trying to create some kind of steps based on this. I'll be able to teach you guys. It's more like the structure of what I'm going to teach today. Okay? All right. So to pair methods, and then we'll be looking at packing and unpacking tuples, okay, packing and unpacking tuples, and then we'll be looking at nested tuples, okay, we're looking at nested tuples, and then we will look at some practical examples, okay, practical examples and common errors, okay. So basically this is what we are going to look at today. All right, guys, so let me just run this. Okay, all right, so you see today we are looking at let me give it a heading. All right, so let's run this. Okay, so we are looking at tuples, guys, and within our tuples for today, I think this screen is so. All right, so looking at tuples for today, we are looking at creating tuples, assessing tuple elements, tuple operation, immutable nature of tuples, tuple methods, packing and unpacking tuples, nested tuples, and then also practical examples and common errors. Okay, so this is what we are looking at today. And once we are done with tuples, we will move on to another one, which is sets, and then we will move on to another one, which is what? Dictionary. So today we have a long way to go, guys. So when I'm done with tuples, I'll hold on, and then I'll respond to your questions. You come up, you ask any question you have or any issue you have. Then we move on to sets. When we are done, the same thing. Then we finalize on dictionary. Okay. All right. So now let's basically look at what tuples are. Okay. I don't want to do more of the theory, but let's basically look at what tuples are so we can have a clear concept of tuples before we dive in. Okay, guys. So basically, when tuples are basically what? So tuples are ordered. They are more like lists. Okay, they are more like lists. But here, tuples are ordered collection. Okay, ordered collections of items. Okay, that are immutable. Okay, the only way tuples can be immutable is when you convert to list. So tuples are basically ordered collection of items or elements that are immutable. It means that when you set your tuple, they can't change. We will look at all that going forward. Okay, but you remember when we learned the lists are what? Mutable, which means you can change the list. But in tuple, you can't change unless you convert to a list. Those are the key difference you need to understand. So they are similar. Okay, I want to make sure my mic. Okay, good. They are similar. So they are similar to list. Okay, so it's more like list. So they are similar to list, but their immutability, okay, makes them different. Okay, so all that we are saying here is that tuples are ordered collections of items that are immutable. They are similar. Sorry, I repeated the similar. Okay, so they are similar to list, but their what immutability makes them what different. So they are different from list. Okay, so because of their immutability, which means they are immutable, we can't change them. We can't change the elements in what a tuple, but we can change elements or items in what in list. Okay, all right. Now let's look at how we can create tuple. So let's look at how we can create tuples. Okay, so creating tuple. All right, so let's look at how we can create tuples. Okay, so first of all, let's say empty underscore tuple. Sorry, empty underscore tuple is assigned. Now the difference here is, remember in list we use square bracket. In tuples you use open and close brackets. That is one of the key things, guys. You should take note of it. In tuple we use open and close bracket. In list we use what? Open and close square bracket. Okay, that is another difference you should take note. Now if I come here and I say print, right, print, what am I printing? I'm printing this empty tuple. Okay, and then I can also say that, okay, let me print this empty tuple. What is the type of this empty tuple? What is the type? Okay, so I want to know the type of this tuple. Right now, sorry, I typed the type. Okay, what is the type of this empty tuple? Okay, so I want to understand that print type of what? This empty tuple. Okay, so I'm saying that empty tuple, this is the empty tuple. I want to print this empty tuple, so let's print that one first. Okay, so now once I run here, it's telling me that I have an empty tuple. Okay, and now if I say print, what am I printing? The type of this tuple. Okay, so I think I already declare something. Okay, print here, print, let me type it again. Oh, okay, I didn't bring the last open. Yeah, so now once I run this, you see that we are seeing the class type, which is what? Tuple. So it tells you that this is a tuple. That is why it's different from right now when I run another code and I say I write the same thing of this, okay, here, right? But instead of the open and close bracket, I use the square. Okay, I use the square. Now if I say print empty tuple, this will not be a tuple. This will be what? A list. So let's check and see. You see the difference here? So that is why I'm telling you, tuples don't use square bracket. You only use square bracket when you want to convert, or you are dealing with list, or you want to convert a tuple to a list. Okay, so let's take note of that. So currently, this is how we create tuples. Tuples are created with your variable name here. You define your variable name and you set it to what? Tuple, which is open and close bracket. Okay, all right. Now let's look at another one. Let's say let's set some examples. Okay, let's look at some examples. Let's say we have numbers. Okay, and our numbers are assigned to a tuple. Okay, let's say a tuple of, inside the tuple, let's say we are going to put in some list. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you see what I've done here? I have assigned a variable called numbers. Within this number, I said I want to have a tuple. Okay, but that tuple is already in the form of a list. Okay, so I'm converting this entire list to tuple. That's the whole point here. Okay, guys, I'm converting the entire list, this list, to what? To tuple. Okay, that is why inside the open and close bracket, I inserted what? Square brackets, which is a list. So automatically this is a list, but the moment I put it inside the tuple, it means I am converting it into what? A tuple. So now if I come down like this and I run it, and I what? Run this, I should get it in a tuple form, which you will see the bracket and the open and close bracket, and not what? Square bracket. Okay, so that is a major difference. You see, we are seeing it this, right? So it means that I have converted a list into what? A tuple. Okay, the same way the reverse is, you can convert a tuple to what? To a list. The reverse of it, which will be, instead of the square bracket, you rather you bring it like this, bring it like this, and then you put it something like this. Alright? Then you put something like this. Okay? So if I run this square bracket will change, this open bracket will change to what? Square bracket. So you see, it's telling me that this tuple is what? A list. So you see the difference here? Alright. So this is how we convert list into tuple. This. Okay, guys. So take note. We said lists are what? Mutable, but tuples are what? Immutable, which means list can change based on any elements or any item you provide to the list. The list can change. But when we look at tuples, we said they are immutable, which means they can't change. Okay, guys? All right. Okay. So now let's move on to another example. Okay. Let's look at another example. Let's say we have so now we have this list, isn't it? So let me just set this as a list, like list let's say list of this. Okay, so this our list is going to be a tuple, right? And then let's say the same time we want it to be tuple, so 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, so now we are saying that this list, okay, sorry, I didn't bring the I, yes. So this list, okay, we are converting this tuple to list. So let's see. So you guys, you see, this is one of the example I did here. So you see, this is now in a list form. I only have to use just the list function or the list method. This is a method in what? In Python. You see, class list, iteratable what? At list. So it means that built-in mutable sequence. So this is a built-in method already in Python for you. So if you want to, all that I want you to understand here is, if you want to convert a tuple to a list, this is one of the ways you can use. You just bring the list method, the inbuilt list method, and based on that, you pass your what? Your arguments. Then that's it. Okay? Alright. Now let's look at some kind of different scenarios, like how we did for the list, whereby we try to have the items in a list with different data types. Okay, so now let's look at items in tuples or elements in tuples with different data types. So let's say we declare our variable, like let's say mixed underscore tuple. Okay, so this is our variable we are declaring, and remember tuples are defined by what? Open and close what? Bracket. So open and close bracket, take note of that. Now inside our tuple, we are saying that we are going to have a mixed data types, and we know data types. Data types are the integer, the string, the variable characters, right? The floating numbers, the double, all those things are data types. So now we are saying that we are looking at mixed tuple, and which means that we want to make sure our elements in our tuple will have different data types. So one, this will be an integer, and I can have a string, say hello world. Okay, I can have a string, say hello world, and outside the string I can have a floating number, say 3.14, and then outside the floating number I can also have a boolean number, say true. Okay, so you see that, sorry, so you see that I have a mixed tuple here. And with this mixed tuple, 1, hello world, 3.14, and the boolean, which is true, it's telling us that we have different data types. We can have different data types in our tuple. Okay, that is clear enough. Now we can just quickly print this to see. Okay, shift enter, or you can just click on this button, and then you get your result. So you see, we have our tuple here, which is what? If you want to print in Python, you can either use the print inbuilt print method like this, okay? But I usually don't bring the print, so don't be confused, okay? So I can still do like this and still get my result, but mostly I always use the simple method, okay? Which is I just call the variable name back and then I get my result. Okay, guys. So you see how tuples can be set with different data types. That is the key goal. Different data types. Okay. Now let's look at how we can access tuples. That is key. Okay. Accessing tuples. It's the same concept we have when we learned the list. Okay. It's the same concept, guys. Okay. So let's see how we can access tuple. Now let's look at let's bring back our numbers. Okay, we have a variable name called numbers, right? Let's bring it back. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our variable name numbers. So now with these numbers, we have some kind of elements in the form of tuple for us. Okay, these elements are in the form of what? Tuples. Now all that we need to do is we want to be able to access these elements or these items in this particular tuple. Okay, and how do we need it? I need help with my Python assignment. Oh, so all that we need here is how do we access this tuple, right? And in accessing tuple is the same thing that knowledge we have in list. Okay, guys. So you come here and then let's say we want to access, let's say print. So inside our print function, okay, inside our print function, what should we access, guys? Type in the comment section and let me know. What should we access? Which items or elements should we access in the tuple? Which items or elements should we access? So in the comment section, you guys should type and let me see. Which items do you think I should access? 3. Okay, we should access 3. So now, if we want to access 3, it means that first we need to bring the number. Okay, remember it was like this. Okay, and then inside we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 6. Remember it was like this. That gave us this, right? If I run, we still get the same thing. Okay, I didn't print. I didn't print. So let me print. So if I run, we still get the same thing, right? You see? So now, if I want to access 3, as someone typed that we should access 3. No, we can't access 0. 0 is an index. Melania. Let me call you Clayton, okay? Clayton, you can't access 0 because 0 is an index, okay? We access elements or items in tuples or in a list. And currently we are dealing with tuples. And in tuples, we will access the elements or the items. So these are the elements, okay? All right. Now, to access these elements, that is where we use the index, okay? And in Python, the index starts with what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, going. So now, what I need to do here is, I need to access 3. As someone typed in the comment section that I need to access 3. Okay, so Mayor said I should access 3. So all that I need here is the variable name for that particular tuple here. So I'll say something like this. Print numbers, okay, and then inside, how do I access this? It's the same thing we use for list, okay, the square bracket like this, because we are dealing with index, and when you are dealing with index of something or you are accessing an element with its index, then you use what? The index value. Get this logic clear, guys? Use the index value. Don't use the elements or the item in that particular list or tuples. Okay. So here we are going to use the index value, and let's count. Let's start from here. In Python, we start from the left. So starting from the left, our index of 1 will be what? 0. Our index of 2 will be 1. Our index of 3 will be 2. So which means that we will put 2 here. Okay, so I'll just put 2 here. It means once I run this, I should get 3 as my result. So let's run and see. You see? So it means that what someone said 3, Mayor, we've been able to access 3. That is the logic clear? So it's the same concept we use to access list. It's the same concept we use to access tuples. Okay? Now let's look at another one. Let's say I do something like this. Okay? Print, and inside I say numbers and square bracket -1. So guys, tell me what will be the result for this one. So let me see in the comment section what will be the result for this one. So Richard is saying, can you change 3 to 1? We can. So tuples are immutable, which means we can't change. We can only change 3 to 1 when we convert to list. Okay, so we can't change this 3 to 1 unless we convert this particular tuple to list, which I showed up here. This is how we can convert tuples to list. And once you convert this tuple to list, we can just assign this all this to a variable, and then when we assign, we can change any of the elements or items in the tuple. Okay, Richard. So unless we convert, we cannot change any item or elements in a tuple. All right, that's a good question. So guys, tell me what will be the result for this one when I print this one. Okay, people are saying 666. Good. Let's run and see. Good. So it means you guys are all doing great. You understand what I'm teaching. That's good. You get it correct. So now let's move on. Okay. What of this one, guys? So what of this one? What will be the result for this? If I say numbers, inside the number I pass to left and right. So my left I want to start from 0, and then my right I want to end at 4. So guys, when I run this, what will be my answer? You see, I'm not using print because when I run this, I'll still get the same thing. So these are our little techniques. I want you guys to get it. Okay, it's not always that you say print, right? Sometimes just call the variable and put in your argument, and you are good to go. So what will be the answer for this? Yes, in the comment section. Okay, someone is asking a question. When you say numbers is equal to tuples, is tuples an inbuilt function? Yes, so we have, that is this, you're trying to refer to this example. Numbers, yes, tuple is an inbuilt function. That's a good question. So you see, it's a class, it's a built-in immutable sequence. I think I explained that. So I wanted to convert this list, okay, this list into, so previously it was like this. So let's check it. It was like this, okay, and then I said, okay, no, it was like this. Hold on. So when I make it like this will be a list, isn't it? And then now I said, okay, I want to convert this entire list into a tuple. So that's a good question also. So the reason why I want to convert, I will use the inbuilt tuple method, okay? Or some people will say function. So what I'll do is I'll put the entire this list in a tuple method. So I'll just come at the back here and say tuple, bring the first open bracket and then close it here, okay? And then this will be converted to what? Tuple. Okay, so the one who asked that question, Clausen, yeah, that's good. So when you say numbers equal to tuples, is tuples an inbuilt function? Yes, but I will call it inbuilt method. Okay, so always call it what? Sequence or methods. Okay, so there are methods in Python, and that's true. Okay, all right, you can call it inbuilt function. That's okay. It depends on how you understand it. Okay, all right. Now let's go back to our response. So I said when I run this, what will be our result, guys? In the comment section, let's go. So Mayor Jemima said 1, 2, 3, 4. Mayor said 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, so let's run. Let's run. X user said 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is our data. Let's first understand the data. So this is our data. Okay, so let me run the data here. Let me run the data here. Let me run the data here. Numbers. Okay, so this is our data. Okay, this is our data. Okay, guys, and this data. Oh, sorry. So this data, we are saying that we first printed this, we had 3. We first printed it, we had 6. And now when we print this, now let me print cuts. I'm just doing a lazy man's job. All right. So now let me run this. Okay, good. So now you see the data. So what will be the result? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I see a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's run and see. This is it. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you guys are correct. It means that one, we are telling, let me explain, okay? There's no rush in learning. So let me explain. So we are saying that we are telling the code or the computer, okay? We are telling the computer that start from the index of 0. And what is the index of 0? Is 1. So that's why we first pick 1. Now, when going forward or when moving forward, end at the index of 4. What is the index of 4? Is 5. In Python, we will end at what? 3. We will not end at 4. So automatically it will say 1, 2, 3, 4. The index of 4 will not be included. And already we will get 0 to 4, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So in Python, we always start from the index. We use indexes, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But other programming languages, basically they start from the index of 1. So take note of this. In Python, we start with the index of what? 0. And I think I've been emphasizing on this for so many times and so many sessions. Okay, in our previous sessions, I've been emphasizing on it a lot. So guys, take note. All right. So I think we are correct. So let's look at tuple operations. Or let's look at one example. Let's look at one last example. Okay. Let's look at one last example. So what will be the result for this? Numbers square bracket. Let's do this and then -1. So guys, what will be the result for this? Let me put it here. All right. So what will be the result for this? This is our data. So now we know this. So what will be the result for this? Yes, in the comment section. Someone say the reverse. Are you sure? Are you sure it's the reverse? Yes, in the comment section. 642. Okay. All right. Let's run. So we are getting 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So that is the reverse. So Mayor is correct. That is the reverse. So we are, instead of us starting from 1, 2, 3, we are just starting from what? Oh, why do I click on generate? We are just starting from what? 6, 4. So we are only basically using the -1 to tell Python to start from what? The end, and not the beginning. Okay. So we are just doing the reverse of what? The tuple, and that's it. Okay. And that is how we access what? Tuples. We've seen so many scenarios of how we can access tuples. All right. Now let's look at tuple operation, which is very important. Okay. Tuple operation. So with tuple operation, okay, you don't understand the negative. Okay. So the negative is basically whenever you see -1, -2, -3, -4, okay, don't be confused. The whole point is we are saying that Python or the computer go to the back of this particular tuple, start getting the results or the items or the values or the elements from the back. Now, when you start from the back, we are saying that, because you see, I didn't put anything here. I put something here. So it tells you that we will not start from here. We are going to start from here with a negative. And with the negative, all it means is that we take the negative moving forward. So the first one will be negative, -2, -3, negative, you understand? And -1, it means here will be 0, -2, it means here will be 1, negative. So it goes like that. So it means you are starting right from the end to the start. So we use the negative to pick the first value here. So -1 will give us 0 sometimes based on the Python logic. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So there will be 0, negative, 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 negative. All right, and in place of the 0 here will be the 6. That's why we start from the 6, 5, 4. So -1 is just basically telling us to go and start from the end and then move forward. Okay, if I remove this, okay, if I do it something like this, okay, and rerun, you will see it will still start from here. But because of the -1, okay, it will go to the back, okay, to do the reverse. Now if I put -2 here, it will pick this. So let's see. You see, it will go to the index of 2. So 0, 1, 2. Okay, to go to the index of -2. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you see, and then it will pick for us. So that's why we are seeing 6, 4, and then 2. So at every point, it what? It jumps. So it picks 6, it jumps 2, -2. So 1, it picks 4, 1, it picks 2, and then it ends there. If we do 3, it moves to 3 steps. So we run, we get 3 steps, 6, 1, 2, 3. And we don't have any 3 steps, any value. We leave it there. Okay. If we do -4, we run, we get 6 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. That's it. If we do -5, we run, we go to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It picks 1. If we do -6, we are not going to get anything. We'll get only 6. You see? So that's how it works. Okay? All right. Now, tuple operation. Why do you have the 2 colons? Okay, so the 2 colons is basically to help us. So let me explain. So the 2 colon, this 2 colon is to help us sometimes when we want to query, when we want to access a specific element or item. So we don't want the entire data. Sometimes we only want this 3, okay, and let's say this 5. So we want 3 and 5. We use the colon to distinguish where the computers should start and where the computer should end. So we are saying that, okay, we want to access 3 and then 5, okay? So start from the index of what? 2, and then end at what? The index of what? Let's say 5. So when I run this, it only picks the index of 2, which is, it will start from the index of 2, 0, 1, 2. So it will pick 3 and then ends at what? The index of 5, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 will not be included. So it will pick 3, 4, and then 5. So our result should be 3, 4, 5. Okay? So let's run and see if we are correct. Where is it? Let me run this. All right. Now let me run this. Okay, I think the code is giving us. So let me go back here. Okay, let me run this. All right. Let me print my numbers. Okay. Now, so when I come here and I print this, now I should get. So just a second, we should get. I need to close it and then open it again. Sometimes the environment and all that. So let's say numbers, okay? Inside the numbers, inside our list, then we put the colon of 2, okay? So inside the first column, we are saying that what do we give? So we say 2, okay? And then inside our other column, let's say let's set another one to be, let's say 5. Okay, now inside this column here we can give another value, but let's say we don't want anything. So you see it's 3, so it's just picking here. You start from this 3, and then this is 5. Index of 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it won't pick, it won't give us anything here. But when we say index of, let's say 4, we will get this 5. So let's run. I don't know why the code is supposed to get. So let me do this. Okay, all right. So let's run it on this so we get it clear. So the reason why we are having this 2, okay, let me add it here. I run this here, and then I come back here. I run this. Good. Now let's use the print so we don't have any. Sometimes maybe because I'm not using the print method. Okay. All right. So now inside this we use numbers. Okay. Inside our numbers we are going to access the element in the tuple. Okay. And for us to access this element, we are saying that we are going to use what we call the double, like this. And when we put here -1, oh sorry, when we put here -1, we are basically telling it what to start from the end. Okay, so when I run this, you see we get the reverse of the data. All right, now since we have the reverse of the data, what we are going to do next is we want to understand why this double 2, or the double colon simply means that here, don't start from here, go and start from the end. But if we remove this entire, we will get the entire from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's basically start from the beginning and end at the 6. But if we specify something like 2 and something like 3, okay, and then we run, we will get 3 because it doesn't know what to go about here. All right, so basically you can say 3 like this. So this will tell us that, okay, go to, let me put here 4 so we understand. Let me put here 4, then I'll put here 2 steps. So here it means that start from the index of 2, end at index of 4, but at every run get the 2 steps, which means it will start from index of 2, 0, 1, 2. So it will start picking 3, and at every step, so 3, 5. So let's see the result. You should get this. Okay. Okay, so the index of 4, okay, the index of 4 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And index of 4 is 5. And when we go 2 steps, we are starting from here. So 1, okay, 2 step 5. So we are not getting this. So that's why we are getting 3. But let's make it simple. Let's start from 1 and then end at what? Index of 3. Okay, at 2 step again. Let's run, and then you see we are getting 2 again because at 2 steps we are still not getting it. All right. So basically, we only set these kind of double to get the steps, and based on the steps, we can then tell the computer where it should start running or picking the results for us. Okay. All right. Now let's look at tuple operations. Now for tuple operations, all that we are looking at here is we want to understand that, okay, if I say plus, okay, if I use this plus, or if I use this minus, or if I use this modulo or division and all that, how would I be able to work with operations in tuple? Okay, and in tuple, all that you need to do is, let's give an example. Let's say we want to concatenate. So concatenation means you want to combine. So let's say we want to concatenate. All right, so concatenation, okay, underscore, let's say tuple. So let's define our variable. Concatenation underscore tuple. It's assigned to let's say numbers. We already have the numbers, right? So numbers plus, you know, the numbers we already have. These numbers. Okay, you see when I highlighted on it as selected here. So this numbers plus what? What are we combining? We have some kind of tuple here. Let me see. We have mixed tuple. Yes. So let's add this. Let's add these two. So we are adding these these two tuples. Okay, so let me come here, paste it here. So you see, I'm saying that concatenation underscore tuple, this is just a variable name, okay? And I'm saying that we are dealing with tuple operations. And with tuple operations, I want to combine two tuples, numbers, and then what? Mixed tuple. So when I run this, and print this, okay, and print this variable, I should get the combination of what? The two tuples we already worked on. Okay, so that's why we are saying what? 1 2 3 4 5 6 1. And then so this was the first tuple, right? And this was the second tuple. Okay, so this is how we combine. I can also go ahead and then say, okay, let's multiply. I can also say mixed tuple. Sorry, let me copy the mixed tuple. I can also say that mixed tuple. Okay, so mixed tuple, and then let's multiply. So mixed tuple times 3. Okay, if I say mixed tuple times 3 and I run, you see, so let's look at the times. You see that I am saying that mixed tuple. Which one is mixed tuple? This is mixed tuple. See, it is going to duplicate the check. So we are seeing that the one hello up to the boolean, and we are seeing another one hello up to the boolean. We are seeing another one hello 3 times, right? And this is not what we want, isn't it? Let's look at the numbers too and see if it also does the same. Numbers times 3. Okay, we run. You see, it's also doing the same thing. Up to here 1, up to here 2, up to here 3. So it's multiplying it what? 3 times. Okay, so what we need to understand here is, now all that I want you to understand is operations in tuples works, but it depends on what you are trying to use to do. Okay, so always be careful with these kind of operations when you are dealing with tuples. Okay, now let's look at another concept, which is let's look at how we can change in tuples. Immutable. We are saying they are immutable in nature. So immutable in nature of tuple. Okay, immutable nature of tuples. Okay, now let's look at how we can say, let's say for instance, so we are saying that tuples are immutable. So get the logic clear. They are immutable, and we are saying that it means that meaning their elements, okay, their elements cannot cannot be changed, okay, cannot be changed once assigned. Okay, so we are saying that tuples are immutable in nature, which means they can't change, and we are saying that tuples are immutable, meaning their elements, okay, their elements, these elements 4 5 6 1 blah blah blah, cannot be changed once we assign them, like how we assigned it here. Okay, we said numbers is equal to, when we assign it here. So once you assign it like this, it means tuples, you can't change them unless you convert to what? A list. And that is what we did up there. You remember? All right. So now let me go down, guys. Okay. So now all that we need to understand is, let's look at an example so we can understand. Okay. So let's look at an example. Let's say we have LST to be assigned to a list. So let's say we have a list of 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah. So let's say we have a list of 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. And with this list, let's first print it. Okay. List. Sorry. LST. So now we see that it's a list 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Now with this list, I want to make sure that, okay, I can access a particular list or make some changes, which I can do that, isn't it? I can just make changes here and it will be easy for me. let's say I want to change the index of 1 to a different data type. So let's say I will just say LST. I put in here. Which index am I changing? 1. So this is 2. So 0, 1. So the index of 1 will be 2, 1. And I will say I'm changing to, let's say, Darko. Okay. So you see that when I run this index 2 will change to Darko. So when I run it, all right, and I come here and I print LST, right, I should get Darko. You see? So we have 1, Darko, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a list, and for list, once you define it, assign it, you can change. But we are saying that when it comes to tuples, okay, we can't change it. Is that clear? So now let's do something. So let's do something by let me set an example for you guys. So let's do something by making it in the form of what? A tuple. So let me see if I can set it in a tuple. Okay, so let's set it like okay, so let's do something like this. Okay, let me use the same thing here. So LST is equal to this, and then we print LST, and then we say LST string this. Okay, now if I run this will be correct, right? So now let's see if we do something like this. So let's say we call the numbers. You know we have numbers, right? This numbers. Let's see if you can change, because this numbers is tuple. Remember this example was based on lists. But let's see if we can also change any of the elements here to a different thing. So let's say I have numbers. So you see that tuples are immutable, okay? So numbers, now numbers, which one should we change? Let's say we are changing the index of 1. This same one, which is 2 here. So index of 1, I'm changing it to, let's say, Darko, okay? Which you will see that it will not work. So now, or let's use a different name. Let's say Dennis, okay? Now, if I run this, let me even print it so you know, okay? So you see, guys, check something. It's telling us that numbers, I'm trying to access the index of 1 and change it or modify it to Dennis. But this is the index of 1, 0, 1, 2. Remember when we used list, we were able to change the index of 1, which is 2, to Darko, and we got this here, right? But with the index of, with tuples, because this is a tuple, with tuples, we can't change once we assigned, and that is why we said tuples are immutable, okay? So check the error. It's telling us that what type error, tuple object does not support item assignment, which means we can't change this particular what element to anything once we assign it to what a tuple or a variable. Okay, so take note of this. It's very important when it comes to tuples here. It's very important. Just take note of that. Now let's print our numbers back. Okay, now we have our numbers. Now with these numbers, let's look at what we call tuple methods. Okay, and with tuple methods, all that we need to understand is, let's say we have our numbers. Okay, now tuple methods, we can count, or we can count by the index, or we can count by what, the index. So we can count by the element or the index. So let's say, for instance, I have numbers dot count. Okay, so count is a method or inbuilt function in Python. I will just say 1. Okay, now I can also say numbers dot index. Okay, I want the index, which is also an inbuilt function of, let's say, 3. So this is my data. Okay, I want to count how many ones, and I want to count how many, the index of 3. So I want to count the index of 3. I want to get how many ones. So let's see. So I just so for it to be simple, let me use the print here. Okay, so print, then I'll go all the way here, and then bring the bracket close again. I'll do the same here. print. I'll do the same here. Okay, so now let's run this. Okay, all right. So you see, I'm counting how many numbers do we have in this particular numbers or tuples, and it's only once. And then how many threes do we have? Index of what is the index of 3? And then we are getting what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So you see that index of counting 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are only getting the numbers dot the index, okay, of 3, which is what? 2 here. You see the difference? So it tells you that when you count, we have a type in tuple, a method in tuple that allows you to count the numbers, and also it allows you to check the index. All right, let's look at another one, which is packing and unpacking. It's very important you understand that one. Packing and unpacking. Okay, so the packing and unpacking simply means, let's look at the first one, packing. All right, so packing is let me see if I can get an example. Packing is so let's say we have packed underscore tuple. Okay, packed underscore tuple is assigned to, let's say, 1 comma let's give a string hello, outside a string let's give a boolean 3.14. okay, now we are saying that now let's print this packed tuple. Okay, I'll show you something. Okay, all right, now you see we are saying that this is a tuple, packed tuple, 1 blah 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 blah, and then packed tuple. You see what we did? We just assigned a variable name called packed tuple to different data types, elements, or items, and it's telling us that this is a tuple. Okay, we can look at the type. What type is it? Type. What is the type of this? Let's look at the type. Okay, we can look at the type. You see, it's telling us this one. It's a tuple. You see, so we can still put in it here. So let's run. So it's telling us that it's a tuple. Okay, so basically what it's telling us is that we can still have a packing tuple like this. You don't necessarily need to bring the bracket open and bracket close. Okay, you can just have it like this and it is a tuple. That's it. Once they are in one line like this, you are good to go. Let's look at the unpacking. Okay, let's look at unpacking. So unpacking is also, let's say we have A, comma B, comma C, and then let me assign to the packed tuple. Okay, so I assign to the packed tuple, and then I'll say that. So you see what I'm doing? I have a packed tuple of 1 hello 3.14, and I'm saying that I'm doing unpacking. A, B, C, D is assigned to what? Packed tuple. The reason I'm using A, B, C, D is because I have 3 data types, 3 different data types. I have integer, string, and also boolean. Okay, so I need to set it 3 different variables, A, B, C. Okay, and then I'm assigning to this packed tuple, this entire thing. All right, and let's unpack it. So we are saying that we can just say, okay, print A, print B. So we can say A, B, C. Okay, oh sorry, A, B, C. Okay, so we can print this. You remember I said I don't usually use a print. You can still print A, print B, print C. You're correct. So now let's run this and see the result. You see, so we are getting what? A, B, C. The reason why we are getting only the 3 point is because I need to use the print. So let me use the print A. Okay, print B. Okay, and then print C. All right, so let's run again. So you see, so now we have 1 hello 3 point. So because we have unpacked our tuple, it's as simple as that. It's just redoing the reverse by giving it a variable name based on the number of elements in the pack tuple, and then we just what, reverse it. Okay, so does count mean the number of occurrences of that number in the tuple? Yes. Okay, all right, now let's move on. Okay, so now let's look at what we call, I think we've looked at the unpacking, so let's look at another one, which is nested. Oh, TikTok. Okay, activity. Guys, let's like the live, let's share, let's comment, because TikTok is trying to say inactivity. So let's comment, please. I see a lot of people on it now. So let's like, let's share, all right, and let's comment. Okay, so let's move on. So let's look at nested. Let's look at nested. Okay, nested tuple. You know we have nested list. We did nested list, right? So let's look at nested tuple. Okay, so now with our nested tuple, how do I put this? Let's first look at nested list as we already did the last time, so we can use that to base on the tuple. Okay, let's look at nested list. So LST is assigned to, inside our list we have another list. Okay, and the first list 1, 2, 3, let's say 4. Let's end at 4. Okay, now I go at the back of this, and then I will say comma, you see, and I'll bring another square bracket. Inside it I will say 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, outside this I'll put comma, and I'll bring another square bracket, you see, and then now I can, inside it I can do another list elements, which I can also say 1 comma this particular thing. I can put this entire thing here. I can just copy it because I don't want to be typing. And I just paste it here. You see? So you see, this is a nested list. List inside list. So you see, we have list, entire list inside another list. So you are seeing we have this is a list, this is a list, this is a list. Okay? Now, with this list, I can just go ahead and then what? Get any element I want. So let's say I want to access any of the elements in this particular list. Remember, we have so inside this entire list there is going to be index of 0, index of 1, and index of 2. Okay, so if I want to access any element in this particular list, it means I need to make sure that I first reference the index of this particular element before going to use this one, its index. So you see we have this a separate list, this is a separate list, this is a separate list. Okay, so outside we have the entire one list. So inside everyone is indexed. So inside this list we have 0, 1, and then 2. And then when we go inside, we also count 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2. You get the concept? Good. Now, let's say I want to access the index of 0. Okay. Go to 0. And then in 0, I want to get 0 colon 3. So, guys, I need the answer. We've done list, right? So what do you think will be the result for this when I run? Yes, in the comment section. What do you think will be the result when I run this? In the comment section. In the comment section, kindly type the result. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 6, 1. It's good I'm getting different answers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that all? Okay, so let's run. You see? 1, 2, 3. So the one who said 1, 2, 3 is correct. Jimima, you are correct. Okay, so all that we mean here is go to the index of 0. This one. When you go to the index of 0, start from what? So this first one is referring to this list. Okay, you see when I click on this list, is highlighting the entire block. So it's telling you that this first one is telling us to go to this entire list, the first index, which is the index of 0. So we will be here. We will not even come here. Okay, we will be here. Now here we are telling the computer to what? To start from the index of 0 and then end at the index of what? 3. So it's going to be index of 0 is 1, index of 1 is 2, index of 2 is what? 3. Now because we said and end at 3, so it means we are not picking the index of what? The item element for the index of 3. So that is why we started at 0, 1, 2. So we are getting 1, 2, 3. Okay guys, this is the good way we learn. Okay, all right, now I get you guys get a concept. Now let's do something. Okay, so let me copy the same thing. Sorry, let me copy the same thing because I don't want to cancel this, and then paste it here. Okay, now let's do another thing. Let's say I put here 2. All right, and then let's say it's still the same. What will be the result? Yes, in the comment section. What will be the result? What will be the result? Yes, let's go. Comment section. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. Okay, everyone is saying 6, 7, 8. Wow. All right, so let's start. Now we are picking the index of 2. So this is the entire block. Let's pick the index of 2. 0, 1, 2. So it means all this is not included. We are looking at this. All right, now we are saying that we start from 0. So when we start from 0, what are we looking at? So 0, index of what? 2. Yes, so 0, 1, 2. So 0, and then what will be the index? So 0, 1, and then what? 2, and then there will not be any 3. So it means we are getting the entire elements of this. So you see, you guys, those who are saying 6, 7, 8, you're all wrong. Oh, sorry. So it's going to be 1, hello, 3.14. Yes, PJ is correct, intermediate is correct, and then, oh no, 1, hello, okay. No, Jimama, you first got it wrong. No, you're wrong. All right, so let me run. So you see, so 1, hello, 3.14. So what you guys need to understand is the first element or index you are getting will be the main block, the main list. This one, the one in the yellow color. Okay, and then once you move to another like this, that is where you want to start and end. So we are saying that when we go to this, inside this, which means inside this entire block, and watch this carefully, this one, the first index here, that is where it will tell you where we need to start from. Okay, so when we are starting at 0, it means we are going to work with this index. Okay, but because we are starting with the index of 2 in this entire block, it means this entire block, the index of 2 is 0, 1, 2. So we will start from here. You see the logic? And then now we come and start from index of 0, which is 1. And that's why we are getting 1, hello, 3.14. So let's be careful with this, okay, guys? It's very important because when you are performing data analysis, you need to know all these things because in your data set or in your database, there are attributes or variables, okay? And you need to use indexes to assess them. We also look at how dictionary works, and then you see how all these things works, okay? All right. Now let's move on to now we know the list. We've reminded ourselves. So now let's look at tuples. Okay. So now let's look at tuples. So let's say we have nested underscore tuple. Okay. Nested underscore tuple is assigned to. We know tuple is denoted by this. Now we are creating a nested tuple. Okay. And then inside this we have another one like this. You see the how I'm creating a nested tuple. And then inside, I'm saying I have my first index 1, 2, 3. Okay, then outside this, I bring comma like this. I create another tuple. Inside that tuple, I will say, let me put in a string. Let's say a, okay, a comma another string. Let's say b outside comma another string. Let's say c. Okay, now comma, okay, another tuple, and then inside this tuple, I can say true, okay, comma false. So you see how we are dealing with different data types. We have integer, we have strings, we have booleans. All right. Now, all that we need to do here is we want to what? Access the elements in this particular tuple. How do we access each individual elements? A, B, C, true, false, 1, 2, 3. How do we access these elements inside this particular tuple? And it's very simple. All you need is one, like this. We need to make sure that first we use the what? The variable of our that is holding or storing the tuple. And this is the variable. Now we need to bring the square bracket. Remember I told you this, right? Now inside the square bracket, let me put this here, 0. Okay, so now if I put 0 here, what will be the result for this when I run? Yes, in the comment section. The same logic from the list. That is why I reminded you guys here, okay, and here. So the same logic from the nested list. What will be the result for this tuple? Yes, Ade said 1, 2, 3. Atypical Jojo said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think you guys are all correct. You guys are all correct. Yes, 1, 2, 3. So thumbs up. You guys are all correct. All right, now let's look at another example. Okay, the same thing, but what will be the result for this? I paste the variable. I bring my square bracket. Okay, inside the square bracket, I go with 1. Outside again, another square bracket. Inside it, I go with 2. Okay, and now because so now what will be the results? Comment section. What will be the result? What will be the result? Ade said B. Wow. Mayo said C. Intermediate said C. Cleansing said C. User said C. Wow. All the C's are correct. Okay. So you see, we are getting C. Okay. We are getting C. Now let me remove this because we are done with this. So we are getting C. You see, we are getting C. The reason why we are getting C is simple. We are telling the computer first go to the index of 1 in this particular nested. The computer understands that once you do something like this, it is in a nested format. Okay, so you are telling the computer this is a nested format tuple. Go to this particular tuple, nested tuple. When you get there, look for the first index of 1, which is this. Okay, sorry, this. So this is index of 0. This is index of 1 in this nested tuple. So this is 0, 1, 2. Now, when you get this first index of 1, which is this, okay, this entire block, go inside and pick only the item or the elements with the index of 2, which is 0, 1, 2, which is C. That is it. We are done. Okay, we are done. Now let's look at the last concept. Then we are done with tuples. Let's look at the last concept, which is iterating. Okay, iterating over nested tuples. Okay, we know iteration. We've done with loops, we've done loops and all that. Now let's look at how we can iterate over nested tuples. Okay, iterating over nested tuples. So now let's say let's define some loops. So let's say for subtuple, okay, in nested underscore tuple. Okay, all that I'm doing here is I have a nested tuple. This is the nested tuple. This is our nested tuple, isn't it? I can just copy it like this, come here, put it here, run it. So this is our nested tuple. Okay, and I'm saying that for sub tuple, this is a temporary variable I want to hold any other thing I want to work with. So I'm saying that for sub tuple, so I'm declaring a new variable called sub underscore tuple. In nested tuple, it means go to nested tuple, this, go here, and whatever I will tell you to pick, when you pick, store it in this particular temporary variable for me. That is the whole concept about loops. That's what you are seeing for sub tuple. This is a temporary variable. Take note of it. In nested underscore tuple, okay, what do? We are dealing with iterating over nested tuple. So I'll still say for item in sub tuple. You see the concept here. Now, first of all, for sub underscore tuple in nested tuple, that is go to the entire data here, this tuple here. Now, whatever I will tell you to pick, pick the entire items here and store them in this particular temporary variable, which is sub tuple. Okay. Now, when you bring it here, I'm saying that for any item, you see, I'm still declaring another temporary variable, saying that for any item in sub underscore tuple, what do I do? Print. What do we print? We are saying that print what? Item, okay, comma. What do we print? And when let's say we are ending with any, let's end. Okay, let's say we are ending with nothing. So end equal to empty. Okay, then we come here, then we say print empty. Now, all that we are doing here is we are trying to iterate over a nested tuple, and we first set our for loop, which it should run and iterate over this particular data. Okay, this tuple here. And then we are saying that once it's done and it gets the items and store in this sub tuple, it should then go through them, print any item in this tuple and all that. So it's going to check everyone. So it will print, you will see that it will print this, okay? And once it's done, it will end and go to another line and print this. When it's done, it will end and go to another line and print this. That's the whole concept of how we can iterate over tuples or over nested tuples. Okay, so when I run this, we will still see the same data or tuple items, but these items will be aligned with the first 1, 2, 3 will be displayed. Then we end, then we move to another line, A, B, C, D, we end, we move to another line, true, false. So let's run and see. You see, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, true, false. So it's telling you that go to this nested tuple, get all the items and store them here. So loop through all the tuple nested, store it here. When you store it here, pick every item in this particular sub tuple and store it in this temporary variable also called item. And when you are done, print the item, but at every time you are done with any tuple, end it, move to the next line and print the next one. That's the whole concept, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just we want to end at every item, we end and then we move to the next line. And when we say at every item, it means it picks this entire one as an item 1, item 2, item 3. So that's why we are seeing 1, 2, 3 on the next line, A, B, C, on the next line, true, false. Okay, and we are done. This is tuples, how tuple works. Okay, how tuple works, and I urge you, tuples are really versatile and useful in many real-world scenarios. Okay, where immutable and ordered collections of items is what is required. Okay, so take note of that. And then they are commonly used in data structures, functions, arguments, and even returning values. If you want to return values, you can use tuples. If you want to have any function arguments, you can use tuple. When we move forward deeper, you guys will understand all these things, why we are using tuple in certain scenarios and all that. Okay, so take note that understanding how to leverage this particular tuple effectively can improve the efficiency and also readability of your Python code. Take note of this. Please, we are done with tuples. So if you have any questions,